Hey there, Ranger Nation. It's Nate, and welcome to the Webcast with Attitude, LR4. And this is episode 222, A Unexpected Return. Guys, we got a lot of topics to discuss. We got, the Super Sentai Zone. We've got Rick's Boom, Prime Time, and then we've got a lot of Mighty Morphin stuff to talk about. And then we got Renegade's Game Studios, and then we've got Ranger Stop and PopCon guest announcements. But before we get into all that, let me introduce you to my more phenomenal co-host, and you probably know who it is already. We got Rick.
Hi.
So, we went to Lexington yesterday, just one day. I would have liked to probably gone more than one day, but one day would have had to suffice because of how much money I would have had. If I had more money, I would have probably have spent a good amount. Right, Rick?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now it's different if we had the money to spend on these conventions, and and I was willing just to do one day. Like I did last year with my brother and my brother-in-law, and then this year with Rick. So hopefully we get back to doing more than one day, so that way at least, and then we have the money to save up for hotel and the convention itself and all that fun stuff. So it was a lot of fun as usual. Rick, you were mainly up in the vendor hall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to look at the celebrity hall, the celebrity area just to check it out. Get a little glimpse. It's crazy. So Dwayne Cameron was there. Among other Ranger cast members like Jason Font, Michael Copon, Charlie Kirsch, and Steve Cardenas. He's now wearing a suit at convention appearances, so he's looking snazzy. Honestly, I think it would be better. I would say you'd want to be more comfortable and, not rocking a suit, especially how many people are in there.
Finding the right suit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guarantee that's why he's rocking it. He found the right suit and said, I love this.
Yeah. Hopefully he wasn't sweating too much because, it was a little, it was a little cold in there a little bit, and then it started getting hot because there were so many people in there.
Yeah, the human body tends to generate heat.
Yeah. So
hopefully you guys can hear me well. I'm kind of on the opposite end of the
I went to Dwayne Cameron's table, and I can't remember what year it was. He actually talked me into getting. I probably have a picture of it. I remember. It was 1 year or a year ago or something like that did that.
It was like 3 years ago when you purchased the scripts.
You're probably right because it was not 3 years. It probably was 2022 because then Ranger Stop was in 2023, and then
which was 3 years ago.
Oh, 3 years. You're right. I don't know, dude. I keep forgetting.
2022 was 3 years ago now. If we're talking Lexington.
Right, true. But anyway, so, he said, hey, listen, I can do a discount for it. And then, so he tried to give me a discount again. And I couldn't budge. I couldn't budge on it. I couldn't do it because I said, well, let me get the lay of the land and see if I end up buying something, and we'll see how much money I have, and I'll be willing to come back and see, because I only had a certain amount of money with me. So I passed on it. And I told him if by chance, I hope that Rick and I go to Ranger Stop this year. I don't know. PMC is one of the big ones we like to do. So we're still working that out. But yeah. So what did you get this year at Lexington, Rick?
I found the very first issue of Supergirl from the first run.
Nice.
After looking through it, this issue from 1972 would probably fall in the grade scale of about a 7.3 to 7.5. Oh, I've seen this go for over $100 before, in like slightly less grade. Like this thing is in really nice condition.
So did you only get one comic?
$18.
Is that the only one you got, or did you get
That
another
is the
one?
only comic I ended up getting because none of the vendors had the last comic I needed, which was issue 6 of the first run of the Supergirl series.
Okay.
I've cut back on comics I'm buying because I don't need as big of a comic collection.
And I know you got.
Will probably be selling some Batman stuff in the future. I'm definitely keeping all my Power Ranger stuff. That's a given.
Speaking of which,
always support your local comic book shops.
But no, not that.
Oh,
not just that. But speaking of Power Rangers, you said, he's like, I gotta look. I wonder if they. I'm looking. I'm like, well, which one are you looking for? Like, I'm looking for the Invisible Edition.
Oh yeah, I did get that. Fine.
Yeah, and I said, oh yeah, it's here. I saw it, and it was I think it was the last one.
Yes.
So I'm like this. There you go, man.
Yeah.
And he was going back and forth on. I'm like, hey, look, if you want to go on Hasbro Pulse and see if they still have it available for a good price, it's still available.
I mean, after the cost of shipping, it was about the same.
But yeah, it was.
So,
yeah.
At the convention.
So yeah, he actually got it. So yeah, he got it, and he also got a Spinnerette. Funko Pop. So
from
yeah,
the Spider-Man Renew Your Vows storyline.
And as for me, and also Rick finally got a picture with Charlie Kirsch. So that was cool. I was almost convincing Rick. I'm like, hey, you want a shirt with her face on it? Because she was selling these shirts too. So makes me wonder if they had his size. But you know what I mean? Rick, let's be honest. Would you have wore it?
Probably not.
Would you have had her sign it?
Probably.
Yeah. And they also had the the stands. Steve Cardenas had one. So did Charlie Kirsch. So they were selling those to get autographed. So he could have gotten a Yellow Ranger standee if he wanted to pay for it. But what else? And so when you didn't realize that?
No.
You thought that was just there for display?
I didn't notice it at all.
Yeah. If you look at your picture, it's in there. Oh. And it said, get me autographed. And there was like maybe like some on the side that you could have bought.
I wish I had known.
I thought you would have realized that, but hey, maybe if they sell them at Ranger Stop, if we go to, hopefully we do go to Ranger Stop. If we do go to Ranger Stop and they sell them there, maybe you can get it there. We'll see if she's going to be there though. I was going to say, so I managed to finish off the waves that I needed. I got the last figure that I had. I got Dino Fury Blue Lightning Collection figure for wave 14 to finish that off, and then I got all 3 figures from wave 15. So I was good. I was good. Now, do you have a problem when you try to take off the head of Summer for RPM yellow to switch out to the helmet. Do you ever have issues with that, Rick?
No.
Yeah, I have. It was really tight on there, so it's kind of hard to. So
Vaseline.
really, that will do it.
I have no idea.
Oh my god!
It was just an opportunity to say Vaseline.
Okay, so that was our.
I mean, that's tight.
That was our. Wow, Rick! Wow, and that was our Saturday. Also, we went to Hooters, but that's another story. So anyway, let's get into the
Nate and his obsession with Hooters.
obsession. Hey, nothing wrong with going to Hooters, enjoying some good old food and view. Remember, Hooters makes you happy.
Again, Nate's obsession with Hooters is solely because of that phrase. He has not stopped it.
It said it on the back of their freaking shirt. It says it on the receipt. It is hilarious. It is the most hilarious slogan I've ever seen.
You are as obsessed with that phrase as my grandpa is with the hedges being trimmed lower than they've ever been during my entire life.
Okay. So anyway, now we're in the Super Sentai zone, guys. We are going to be discussing. Oh, so Ryan's not going to be able to on the day because he's not really feeling that well. So Ryan, I hope you get better.
Yeah, it's a good thing he's not passing that virus through the internet.
Did you really go?
Get better.
Yeah. I mean, technically, that makes sense. Why don't you have your cam on? Just curious. Are you doing stuff?
My computer is not at my desk, and I'm not decent.
I did ask. That was my mistake. So anyway, we are gonna go ahead and start with. We're going back to Christmas. I should wear my Santa hat. And this is for Boom Boom, the Boom Boom episode rate. Episode 42, delivering presents on a holy night. Now, this is a different. Now, every episode we've done for Boom Boonger has been a different translation from the actual title of the episode. I'm not going to explain why, but we're just going to get into it. So I'm going to start.
It's because English to Japanese translations are not 100% perfect. Thank you, Google.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, this episode was just an interesting episode, just a typical holiday episode. The villain, she wanted to, she believed in, she wanted this book or whatever, and I think because she actually was fighting one of the monsters with the Boom Boongers, so that was kind of funny. So yes. She got pissed, and she's like, I'm gonna kick your ass. Ho ho ho, mother. So, but either or, it was a fun episode. I'll give it a 9. It was, it was a typical holiday episode. I'll give it a 9. Rick, what did you think of this episode?
I mean, it was definitely a good episode. It's essentially the start of a process that we've seen in several Sentai over the years, involving certain villains. We'll get more into that at the end of the series.
Mm-hmm.
So, however, it was funny. And I still wonder how these creatures from space have the concept of a Christian holiday, or, I guess it's not even really a Christian holiday because most people in Japan aren't Christian. I think they're Buddhist. Or, I think it falls more under Buddhism instead of Christianity. But yeah, but you get the idea. It's a semi-religious holiday that was actually adapted from a pagan holiday, but the fact that these extraterrestrial individuals have a concept of it.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you
So
rate this episode?
I'm giving it a 9.5 because although not perfect, it is funny as hell.
Okay. Yeah, I gave it a 9 because, it was just a typical fun Christmas episode, Um, let's see. Now, next episode, which is why this episode is called A Unexpected Return, and, the Gokai symbol, because we thought a certain individual was going to be returning.
Oh yes.
That's not the case. So if you see right behind here, this episode's 43, The Wheel of a Galleon. And it is Joe, Gokai Blue, that returns. Not Captain Marvelous,
That makes sense.
Gokai Red. And what was interesting, because originally this episode for LR4 was going to be called A Marvelous Return. Due to the fact is that Captain Marvelous didn't return, it wouldn't really fit the episode that we were going to be discussing. So I had to come up. I'm like, you know what? I might actually stick with it just to do a misdirect. But I'm like, no, I've got to change this episode and just go with the symbol, and then say, hey, look at this. So he returns, and this is when we find out. This is the episode where Boom Blue turns against his team.
Throws it far away.
Yep. And they get help from Joe, who turns into Gokai Blue. And then he turns the Boom Boon Changer into a Ranger Key and becomes Boom Blue, which I thought that was awesome.
Oh, yes.
And then we got another combination for Boon Violet's Zord, and not just your typical, just a few, just a combination. No, it was a full-on
transformation.
It turned into Gokai-O. So I thought that was pretty cool how they did that. That was awesome. So
yeah, you gotta admit they've been doing a good advertisement for their deluxe Robo Universe line.
Mm-hmm. But just wait until we get into episode 221 when we discuss the next figures. We're not going to talk about it here, guys. Just wait. You'll see what we're going to be talking about and our thoughts on it. But as that, I'm gonna give this episode a 10 because it was really great. Rick,
the misdirect was awesome. Before the preview from the previous episode for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes sense that it was Joe that returned, blue for blue. I do wish he had actually stuck around because it would have been funny to see Gokai Blue transform and then transform into Boon Blue every episode. But unfortunately, we do see him leave.
Yeah.
Bundario? No, not Bundario. What is Purple's?
Boon Diesel?
Yeah, Boon Diesel.
Yeah.
Doing a full-out transformation into Gokai-O was cool. I do wish that it was only part of the Zord, not the whole thing. But it still was cool.
I just remembered something. You remember that key that he used to turn it into Gokai-O?
Yeah, that was the Gokai Galleon key from the movie.
Okay, yeah, that's right. And that's the thing
Yeah.
they used to do that one mode,
Yep.
which was the Gallian mode. I think I can't remember what they
Yeah.
called that.
Yeah, it was Red's power up. And it also gave them each part of that power up until it combined with Red completely.
Okay, yeah. So
But
like
yeah,
a Battleizer, Megazord Battleizer type of thing.
yeah,
But anyway,
new
anyway,
weapon.
what would you rate this
Oh,
episode?
this is definitely easily a 10.
Mm-hmm.
It might even be pushing an 11. Because, I mean, Blue's betrayal, coming out, just tossing his Morpher straight to the monster. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was
And it's this episode that makes you wonder if that clone actually took the opposite position of Boom Blue.
like the dark part of him.
Yes. Or if it just freed his deception from the clone and allowed the clone to just betray the team to begin with.
That's a good question. I mean, so now episode. This was a pretty sad episode. Episode 44. The delivery man can't deliver.
Oh, yes.
And when he's fighting uh, Spiner, I think his name was
Spinner.
Spiner. Yeah. He gets
I think it's
Spinner. Yeah,
Spinner.
maybe. Spinner. He actually gets a
Michael
new
Jackson knockoff.
yeah. He gets an updated look, an upgraded look after. I think this was it. This episode that he got it.
Goes from into the white. I believe so.
Yeah, so he gets this new design.
Basically, he just changes clothes.
Clothes changer.
Same clothes, just new color.
Yeah, thinking. Let me look. But why don't you go ahead and give your thoughts and great.
Gotta try to remember here. So the ISA officially takes over all Toya's stuff, or is trying to. Give it to Lightning Tech, whatever that's called. So, yeah, events happen. I'm drawing blanks. I should have rewatched, but I got busy. It was definitely a good episode. Bundario, well, let's just say, he, as you can see, is down. Yeah. Shot right through where we would consider the heart.
Yeah.
So, death of a Megazord. Yeah. It's definitely emotional. So, I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay. So yeah, I looked up his Spindo, Warroid Spindo change. Yeah, it was a different style. It was a different type of look. The design was different. The first form he has is called Thriller style.
Proving the point.
And then the other one was Captain style. And he's still doing a freaking Michael Jackson pose or something like that. I just, his character is, this villain was just out there. You know, I mean, they've been have many villains that have been very out there, but this main villain, this leader of this alien group, it's just it was way out there. But yeah, this episode was really good. I enjoyed it. due to the fact that they wanted Boone Darius to stay back, but he didn't want to see Taya to get killed, and his old mentor revealed why he decided to whatchamacallit.
Go Evolve.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a 10. It was a very sad episode, so I really enjoyed it, and but it gets it happens. So yep, a 10 and a 9 from Rick, and a 10 from me, like I said. So anyway, guys, we will be finishing up this season in the next episode of LR4. So guys, keep an eye out for that. So now we've got some merch from Tokullectibles for Boom Boonger, and I'm not surprised. We are getting a memorial edition of the Boone Change Axe with the Boom Booster. Holy, so yeah, that link is everything that we talk about for Tokullectibles. I decided to put the Mobirates best selection. Memorial best selection Mobirates and Boom key set in there, and then also I put pre-orders for Gojuger and the pre-orders for and in stock items for Gojuger, and then also the memorial editions for Boom Boonger, the Changer, and the Boom Change Axe. So those will be available on the website. So guys, make sure you guys order those right away on Tokullectibles. That's your best bet where you can actually find them. Some other places you can find them, but I know there's other places you can find them, but the go-to place is Tokullectibles because that's where you'd have a better way of finding this item. And
That's where we tend to find a lot of the stuff.
Right. And they have
We
options
are not
for
sponsored by them whatsoever. You can find this stuff probably on Big Bad Toy Store and
maybe. I don't know if it'd be the same price on Big Bad Toy Store because they do raise their price a little bit.
Yeah. You can also find pre-orders for a lot of this stuff on eBay too.
Yeah, oh god.
And then
and they do have full payment option where you pay in full, the full amount, and they won't charge you shipping or anything like that. And I don't believe they include
tax. I like.
I think they basically don't even include tax in there, do they? Everything's all covered.
Is built into the price that they charge.
Okay.
So the price you see is the price after tax.
Yeah. And then the full payment plan is where you would pay half of it, which will be the $80, and then they would charge you the $200 from that. So that's, if you want to go to that option, if you want to go to a payment plan and just pay $80 for it, and then when they take out, whenever you have the money, they'll take out that $200, or they won't take it at all if you don't have the money, right? Is that how it works, Rick? Because I can't remember.
I haven't used their payment plan before.
Okay.
But it gives you time. So you'll make the down payment, and then at the time of the release, they will collect the remaining amount plus shipping.
Okay.
If you do the payment plan, you are paying for shipping, and if the price happens to go up because exchange rates and stuff, you pay that difference. If you're able to do the full payment in one stop, right there at the beginning, it is always best to do because you get the free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
and you pay no additional money if the price goes up.
Okay. All right, guys. And now it is time for Rick's Boom Prime Time.
Okay, which one are we doing?
I believe it is issue
6?
6. Yes, it is 6.
All right.
And guys, like I've done before we start, I've been collecting a lot of the variants on here so that way he can talk about them
Uh-huh.
instead of him pulling it up himself to help him out. So, Rick, are you ready for the main cover?
One moment.
Okay, never mind. I mean, okay, we're almost there.
Sorry, trying to get a snack in. I'm hungry.
That's fine. You got to snack sometimes.
Cool. All right.
All right, let's go to it. Here we go. And boom.
So, yes, Ryan's relentless interrogation uncovers a painful past leading up to Mark's refugee status on Earth. Can our newfound hero endure the harsh conditions of the internment camp to embrace his hidden power within? Now, this will be released April 30th of 2025. The reason why that's important is that is a few days before Free Comic Book Day.
That is very crazy of how late they're releasing this.
Yes, it is because of distribution issues with the comic distributors
Okay. Oh yeah. All right.
having
Yeah.
financial difficulties.
All right.
So yes, we got the main cover here. The main cover
And
also
then
has a one per store variant that has no writing on it. Yes. Then we have our 1 in 10 variant with the Lightspeed Rescue Team. I'm actually surprised they didn't fit Titanium Ranger up in the top underneath the logo so that the that's the version you got there is not the 1 in 10. That's the second cover. The titleless version, which you have next right there, is the 1 in 10. That's where I think they should have stuck Titanium Ranger up at the top.
Well, did they with the other ones? Did they include 6 Rangers? I don't believe they did.
I don't know. Probably not.
They probably didn't. They only probably included just the 5 instead of 6.
Yeah, we'll look later.
Yeah.
But yeah. So then the next one is our anniversary cover for I think 20 years Boom Studios.
Mm-hmm. They're all going to be having that on there. I think.
Well, this one's actually listed as the anniversary cover.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and it of course has a titleless version, which is our 1 in 20.
Jeez, man, they got a lot of titleless versions of this one, I think.
Yes. Then, go ahead. This one is our 1 in 15. There is no counterpart to it.
So I'm trying to think. I got to ask you this, Rick. Are they going with the dinosaur look? Or are they going through with a new type of look for the Rangers? Because this looks like it's a Pegasus. If you look at it, the unicorn.
The thing on the chest is not actually a power coin.
That's not a power coin.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Because they weren't given power coins.
Thought they were given new power coins.
No. Their powers were generated via crystals and Rita's magic. The thing that looks like a coin that appears on their chest is not what we call a power coin. It's not a Triceratops. It's not a Tyrannosaurus. It's not. Yeah.
Well, do they give what they are?
Not yet.
Okay. And then
we have the 1 in 25 variant.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and this comes out the 30th of April.
Yes.
And does April have a 31st, or is it only just the 30th?
No, April only has 30 days.
Okay.
It's
So
at the beginning of the year.
So I'm trying to think. Also, Rick, I don't know if you know this, but they are showing a first. They did. I did put in the link in the bottom for a chance for people to get a first look at issue 5 with some other variants that are in there.
Okay.
So if you guys are interested in that, you can take a look at that, and it gives you a preview of the comic itself. So, and I got.
Yeah.
Oh, Pink has a weapon. Interesting.
Huh?
Looks like Pink has a weapon in issue 5. You notice that? That's cool. Anyway, not going to say what it is because I just looked at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Rick. Have you been reading this since you've been getting it, or have you just been reading? Okay.
Like, there's actually when in issue 4 when Rita gives Lauren new powers.
Yeah. So guys, if you read this, it's very interesting of how they decided to do this series and turning this new Ranger team, but including 2 Rangers that have already been Rangers.
Yes.
So I think that's
we
very.
already know who all the Rangers are. It's already spoiled.
Yeah. So it's very interesting of how.
Yeah. So
they
Rita
did that.
actually tells Lauren, "You must grow beyond mere firepower, Ranger, if you are to serve me."
So now, in this comic, is Rita a villain? Or is she playing the mentor role?
Isn't necessarily a good guy, but she happens to currently be in a position where what should be your enemy is your friend.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, basically.
Rita might be out for conquest, but the Altarians kind of already beat her to the punch. So in order for her to conquer, she has to take down the Altarians, who already see the Rangers as a threat.
Which is kind of interesting.
This universe, when Eltar came to help fight a space invasion, like back in the 50s,
and
they never left.
Okay. So, guys, make sure you read this comic so you can get more into it and understand it. That's what we want to say. Now, there is another book. It's not a comic, so it's not a part of this. This is why we're getting into the Mighty Morphin frenzy here, because we got 3 topics revolving around Mighty Morphin. So,
I didn't know about this next one.
This book, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Force of Conquest. This is a adult novel. the first ever it's a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers novel. It's not and it's book one. It's it's not a comic. It's different, totally different. So I'm going to read you the description right here. Trini Kwan is trying to get through high school unnoticed. Nobody knows that she has trained for years in martial arts, and she prefers to let her classmate think she's just a shy that thing. Wait, hold on a second. To let her classmates think she's just the shy Asian girl. But Trini's world turns upside down when the homecoming game is attacked by a otherworldly winged beast with an army of clay soldiers, unable to sit by while innocent people get hurt. Trini springs into action along science genius Billy, her childhood best friend Zach, popular jock Jason, and new girl Kimberly. In the aftermath, the five teenagers are recruited by an alien warrior named Zordon to become the new Power Rangers, charged with protecting the planet from an evil sorceress who recently escaped imprisonment. Let's see. Suddenly thrust into the middle of a millenniums long intergalactic war is hard enough, but getting her new teammates to work together proves to be a difficult task. Can Trini help the others move past their rocky first impression and her own complicated history with Zach to protect their home from destruction? And will she be able to finally accept her full self and this new role? Interesting. So this is available for pre-order on Amazon for $19.99, the hardcover, and there's a Kindle version for $17.99 if you guys want to get that too. So if you go to the Amazon link, you can get it. It will be released on May 13th of this year. Rick, what do you think about this?
Sounds good.
Now, I know you read. I mean, have you ever read novels, or do you just read? Do you read? Because I don't know if you read just graphic novels like the comics and all that stuff. That's what comics are basically now.
I've read a few regular books too.
Yeah, this is basically. Graphic novels are basically what comics are. That's what they are. They're known by graphic novels nowadays.
Yeah.
Back then it was just comic books, but now they're known as graphic novels.
Well, graphic novels is more of a term for the collection of comics in a trade paperback, but it does get interchanged a lot as well.
Yeah. So now the next part of this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Frenzy, Rita's Rewind. Guys, this is the deluxe edition for Nintendo Switch and for PlayStation 5. I did put a lot of the links in the description below, the direct links in the description below for you guys to do for any of the download versions you want to do, or if you want to get the deluxe versions, there's the Atari link. And this is what comes with both the PlayStation 5 version and the Nintendo Switch. You will get a collectible poster and a postcard. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, you got a Lineker,
yeah.
Lineker postcard. Yeah, steel book. You get 6 collectible trading cards.
So you get some pretty good stuff in here. You get some pretty good stuff in this deluxe edition. I did pre-order mine, and let me look to see.
I might have to pre-order the Switch version since I did just recently, finally, after all these years.
So the deluxe version, let's see, the Switch, they do have the physical copies for deluxe and the regular physical copy for it, so they are available for pre-order. Well, you can order the other ones right now. The Nintendo Switch edition is $49.99, and then the regular editions are $34.99. So yeah, you can go to Atari right now and you can pre-order them. All of them. Let's see. I think all of them will be. I think all of them will be released the same day, the same month, May 30th of this year. All editions will be shipped on the 30th of this year. So I already pre-ordered mine, guys. And if you guys want to just
30th
go for
of which month this year?
May. Thank you.
Because there's the 30th in all but February.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. May. Sorry, I forgot to put that. 30th of May. So you guys, it will. Thank you, Rick. So they will be shipped during that time. I already pre-ordered mine. And if you guys just want to go for a download and you don't really care much for the physical copy, I did put links for every single game system on there for you guys to just download it. That we don't have to worry about. If you don't like really having a physical copy, you have that option. Now, after many years since last April, when we found out about the new Playmates Mighty Morphin Power Rangers toy line, and then this year we found out what it was called, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reignition. And last week was the toy fair. So let's get our first look at what is coming.
Yeah, they had to have a close-up of the Red Rangers. You know why?
Yeah, oh, Jesus Christ, Superstar. So yeah, those are the. So they did release silhouettes ahead of this, and these are what the silhouettes look like. These are going to be the articulated figures that we're getting. I think they're about 5 inches.
5.5.
5.5. So these are the more collectible
children's figures.
They're not adult. They're not the adult collectors like Lightning Collection is. So these will be available in the fall. I think the Green Ranger is coming
2026.
I believe so, yeah. So that will be available, and there's no price on how much these will cost yet, but they will be coming soon. The first
I'm
5.
going to make an estimate. I'm going to say that the figures will probably be about $10 to $12.
For these ones right here?
Yes.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny that you say that because the next figures we're going to be discussing are these figures. So yes, auto morphing figures are back, but also we are getting some villain figures too. Some figures that actually have some articulation where you can actually, well, they have some, it's not articulation, it's, moving pieces. You've got Rita with her spell casting action. And then you've got Goldar, wing flapping action. And the Putty Patroller with head spinning action, which I think is kind of interesting. And, these are the first of this figure, the villain figure line. They're going to be releasing. The other ones, they haven't said when those are good, because we are getting Squat, Babu, and then we're getting a King Sphinx figure.
Yes, and
So
I would predict that they would probably get released around the same time as the Green Ranger.
more than likely, yeah. So guys, this is what we got to look at for this, and I gotta say, I like the way they look. They look pretty cool. They look really good. I mean, considering
Considering the Popeye arms on Rita.
I didn't notice anything he's mentioned it. But so in the packaging, as you saw in that video, they do have a try me there that you can try out the action in the back where the lever is. And guys, as I said, they're back. Automorphing figures. And at first, now a lot of people in the fandom thought these were going to be what those silhouettes were. And by the silhouettes, I was like, no, you could tell because the female figure, the figures were bulky looking. The other ones, the collectible figures, aren't as bulky, and the girl ones are thinner. So yes, we're getting automorphing figures again. And like I said, the Green Ranger
Their heads can actually turn.
Yep, and also here's a look at some of the head sculpt for it, and their weapons are actually painted.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool. And then the Blade Blaster is painted too.
Yeah.
And they also, and I think they do come with both modes. The Blade Blaster, I couldn't remember because I know that they showed an image of the packaging. But in the packaging, as usual, you can actually, the lever in the back, when you press it, it will, do the spin in the box too. So there's the Red Ranger, and then got the Blue Ranger. Now, then we've got the Black Ranger, which if you guys watched the video, let me go back. Hold on a sec. Let's see if we can go back a little further. Yeah. So let me show this video again. Hold on. So if you notice right here, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yep. That was a prototype. Because if you look right there, that's the Red Ranger helmet. You notice that?
Yeah.
So that was just a prototype at the toy fair. So I guess they messed up. Like, you know what? Here, this is something for them to try out.
So we'll just paint.
We'll just paint it black. So that's the actual one that's going to be released. And it doesn't look like this one turns into cosmic the blaster into the gun mode. Because also, and this one will be released the 26th. Because like I said, the Green Rangers merchandise like this and the articulated figure will be released in 2026. So,
although I do see some issues already
because of the shield.
Well, the shield
and the Dragon Dagger.
Dragon Dagger,
and
is a glaring one. However, I wonder, can you see the main thing I'm seeing? Or I should say the lack of what I'm seeing.
I'm trying to think, but go ahead and tell me. Oh, tell me.
So, on the figure itself,
okay,
the gloves and boots have the right diamond, or in this case, triangle shape.
Mm-hmm.
But the Green Ranger's boots and gloves are missing something. At the top of the gloves and top of the boots, the rims on them aren't the color of the Ranger. They're gold.
Oh, okay. Huh. I did not notice that.
It's a minor issue, but it's something that, I'm actually surprised not a lot of people have called out yet.
No. I mean, I was going to say that, of course, they decided to do the Blade Blaster again and then the white holster. But it's an automorphing figure, and they're going to do it the way that it is. And then the collectible one was kind of a weird decision of how they did that too. So
Yeah.
I don't get it. But either way, it is what it
Dragon
is.
Dagger being gold with a green blade is a little weird, but I mean,
If you're good at customization,
that actually does look cool though. I can't complain about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to like do customization, I'm sure people would end up doing that. And I do like how his head sculpt comes with the bandana on there.
And again, the shield, it's all right. It's not perfect, but it's okay.
It's not actually.
It was kind of removable, so you can put it on Red Ranger. But maybe we're going to get a Red Ranger Dragon Shield in the 2026 line when Green Ranger comes out.
That's a possibility. We'll have to wait and see on that because
that is an iconic thing.
Oh yeah, and now we've got the Pink Ranger right here, and now I noticed that it doesn't look like the weapons are going to be able to assemble to the Power Blaster.
Right. If the axe can't turn into the blaster, then why invest to turn the rest of them?
And if you look on the helmet, I didn't notice this until now. They're missing the white on the bottom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these could just be prototype images. Mm-hmm. These could be, I mean, we could see them fixed by the time they come out.
Well, also, these are more of a digital rendering than they are the figure.
True. I do think, though, hopefully they do fix. Hopefully they do fix that on the figure.
And maybe the axe will be adjustable come release.
Yeah. And the first figures are going to be released with the main five, with the first five, and then the 3 villains that we saw are more going to be the ones that are going to be released fall of this year. And the price point on these are $9.99.
Yeah. That's why I'm guessing the 10 to 12 on the more collectible figures.
Yeah, and then there is Trini. So now, did they kind of do a little bit better on the female design?
Oh, yes.
They did. Just they still have a very bulky look to them on top, and then they actually
go inside. So
yeah, and then they gave the Pink Ranger a skirt. So that's a first.
Hell yeah.
She never, because in the figures, in the automorphin figures, she never had the skirt. Not even the retro morphin.
A lot of the original Mighty Morphin figures, I don't think Pink ever had the skirt.
Nope, not even the tall ones where they released them.
The 12-inch.
Mm-hmm. So there you have it, guys. There's the automorphin figures right there. And let's continue on with what else is to be released, because you can't have action figures without Zords.
Oh.
So, individual combinable Zords. And
individually, of course.
And the price point on this is $17.99. Now, some people thought that since the Mastodon is going to be a little bit bigger, and then the Tyrannosaurus is going to be bigger, that there was going to be a little bit more a higher price. No, all of them are going to be $17.99.
Yeah, what's helping to keep the other two prices down is Pterodactyl.
What'd you say?
The reason the T-Rex and Mastodon can stay the same price is because even though it probably costs them a little bit more to produce, they're selling the Pterodactyl at the same price. And it probably costs them a little bit less to produce. So it balances out. Because you got to get them in order to have them make it.
let's go ahead and let's look at them individually. The Mastodon, it will come with the Power Sword.
And look at that gold on that silver. Ooh.
Yeah. Now it is going to be. It's not going to be
plastic gray.
Yeah, it's going to be a normal plastic look because we saw the toy fair, but it does look awesome in this rendering of it. And then you've got the pterodactyl. Now the pterodactyl I thought was going to be a little bit smaller, and I didn't know it was going to be including other stuff. Mm-hmm. It comes with all 5 Ranger minifigures, which I think is awesome. And then you've got the her thrusters, which also fires as cannons. So I thought that's pretty cool. And this little firing missile effect. And then it also opens its mouth. Pterodactyl never did that. Pterodactyl never opened its mouth. They added that in there, which I thought was kind of weird, but either way, it's an interesting feature. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
And then you've got the saber-tooth tiger dinosaur, which also comes with a firing missile effect.
Yes, which to your extent, it does appear that the wheels will rotate.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good news.
Because if you look at some of the cutaways in the back, it looks like there's room for it to rotate. And then the black tire around the front leg looks like it's free to move. Now, ultimately, we'll see when time comes.
It gets when it gets released. And then you've got, and now you think that they would add the mouth movement on the saber-tooth tiger because it did have that feature. Yeah. So I don't think it's probably molded.
It does not appear that the mouth moves. However, it does appear to have an outline as if it might.
Yeah. And then you've got the Triceratops. Now this one, the Triceratops, more likely the mouth won't move. But it's very interesting of how they added the rocket cannons right here instead of, just adding the little missiles to shoot off. So I don't get why they did it that way. But it
because it probably would have been too small. So they're like, well, instead of the cannons shooting, how about we just shoot the cannons?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, though. It looks like a cool effect. I like that. Yeah. And I do believe that these actually can fold in. If you want to keep the cannons part in there and then the other one, these can fold in. They should fit in there when you put it into the Megazord formation. And yes, we have the T-Rex. And I do like the design of the T-Rex. I do like how it looks. Instead of just standing up like this with his arms like this, it has the extended out, and I like how they have the legs folded. It looks awesome. Looks great. Yeah. It does turn into tank mode, so that's great. The tank mode, I'm glad it turns into tank mode because you can't have the Megazord, the Zords without being tank mode and Megazord battle mode.
Well,
you could, but it would be kind of.
We're not Bandai Japan.
Yeah. Wait, Bandai Japan didn't do tank mode?
In their newest version that we'll talk about next week, I think.
Okay. Yeah. The next episode, yeah. Okay, you're right. I forgot. I think it's like, wait a minute.
Sorry, and a preview.
Well, we'll just wait. But now they're also coming out with another type of Megazord, but it's it's not detachable or anything like that. It's a electronic ultimate Megazord, and it does have lights and then it has sounds. So it will be.
And it has the proper cannon and blasters.
Yep. And the cannons do go in the back of it. So they're in the other one when you put it in the Megazord mode. Yeah. And then if you guys were wondering if the arms on the other Megazord from the combinable Dinozords, the arms do go up. They did.
Yeah, you see it in the tank mode.
Yep, they do go up. So, and also they did mention somebody did when they were talking to somebody when somebody was talking to one of the heads of Playmates, they did say that it is combinable with a Dragon Zord. So we could be seeing a Dragon Zord in the future, whether it's going to be the same time that The Green Ranger figures are
Most likely.
released. So we'll see. We'll see. And as you guys know, in Power Rangers toy lines, you always get action figures. You always get Zords. And you also get role-playing items. So let's go ahead and take a look at the role-playing items. So first off, we've got some Power Ranger masks. Now, guys, as you know, these are for kids. This is for kids, so you're not going to see
It
like
won't fit my fat face.
yeah. It's for kids, so it's marketed towards kids. Maybe hopefully we do get helmets down the line for adults, or hopefully they just try not to give us repeats and just continue where they left off on helmets. I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait and see on that. And they do, because usually only release certain masks for Power Rangers. No, we're getting all 6 of them. But the Green Ranger will be released in 2026, like I said. All 5 of the masks will be released this year. I don't think they have a price on these yet. I'm going to look, though. There have been, so I have no idea if they do have a price on them yet. But you'll see these in stores. Everything that you see on here is going to be released this fall or maybe early summer. Who knows? Let's see role-playing masks. Were there? Okay, so there's no. I'm looking on GreenRanger.com. There's no price on those, so they don't have a price yet for the. And as for the collectible figures, not the articulated action figures, those don't have a year yet. I think they're supposed to be released maybe in the fall, maybe next year. Who knows? Maybe they're being released all together with the Green Ranger. Who knows? And they don't have anything on the Megazord price, what that's going to cost. The masks and the Megazord, they have no price yet because they haven't said anything about that. But we do have, here's a look at the Power Morpher that will be released. And I mean, if you're gonna do Power Rangers, you got to have a Morpher. These will have 40 plus phrases and sound effects, and it comes with all 5 power coins. They're not chrome, they're just normal hard plastic. And if you look right here, let's see. Look right here. It looks like when they put them in there, that little pegs right there, those little buttons. When you put it in there, that's how it recognizes the coin. And the way it opens up. Now, the Morpher does not have a button on the right. They're both molded on. So where you open it, use the opening and these 2 buttons right here. One of the buttons will be the one to open it and add the effects to it. So that's how you'll be able to do the playability with it. And yes, there will be a handle to it. So that's good. Because, how else are you going to hold the Morpher? And I know people are thinking, oh, they're holding it wrong. It's like, you can hold it that way, They're just showing how you can hold it different, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah, this will be $16.99. which is a good. I mean, surprisingly enough, that's not a bad price for a Morpher,
No,
considering
it's
how much was
cheaper
the.
than the last two versions of the Power Morpher we got when they
Yep,
were released.
yeah, when they were like the Lightning and Legacy collection.
And the original one came with the Blade Blaster, and I think was around that price.
Maybe I think so. I'll have to look that
I
up.
think it may have been about 20-ish
Yeah, and I'm looking at the Cosmic Morpher price. It was $33.99
for that thing.
for the Cosmic Morpher.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, they were pretty high priced on certain morphers or something like that. Yeah, back then, and the prices went up, and now I'm glad that they actually are giving us a really good price on this. Now a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, if they're going with that price, and it's so cheap, it's gonna be cheap made. It's like, if they're adding all that stuff in there, and they did really good on trying to make it worth what you're spending, and it's a cheap price. I take that. You know what I mean? I would take that price for something that has all those, sound effects and everything. Yeah, you're right, Rick. Apparently, the Power Morpher and Power Gun / Sword set was $16.99. So, yeah, good on you.
I guess.
Yeah, that was a good guess.
These were a lot cheaper back then. Like, based on inflation since the 90s, if this was released in the 90s, based on price point, this would have probably been closer to about $7-8.
Right.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah. So next up, we have the Blade Blaster. Now, as it showed, the Blade Blaster does not swing the blade from the bottom. It extends outside of the barrel. And I do think that's freaking awesome. I do like the translucent look of the blade. I do like how when you pull that part back and then put it in that mode, it does that. Unfortunately, it does not look like it's going to have a holster mode. So, but again, this is for kids.
It's a semi-holster mode.
Semi with the blade sticking out, so you're basically stabbing your leg or cutting your leg with your Power Ranger. So yeah, this is it's a pretty cool design. I like this. I'm actually considering buying this. This is the price for this is $19.99, and as you guys saw in that video, we are getting a Dragon Dagger, but that's going to be coming out with everything Green Ranger. And it is the first time ever, the Dragon Dagger will also include a power coin, the Dragon Zord power coin. And it is compatible with the Power Morpher. It's going to be the same. I think it's going to be the same price as the Blade Blaster. Now, here's the thing I find very odd that, it's cool that it's going to be compatible with the Power Morpher and, all that stuff. But I would think it'd be awesome if they would have released the Green Ranger's Morpher, because that's the gold one. Maybe we'll see it. Who knows? Who knows? I think it'd be smart to release it, but instead of releasing another power coin, a Green Ranger power coin with it, release the White Ranger coin. If they're going to continue this on, instead of releasing it with Saba. I know Rick said that, but if they do Saba and all that stuff, the future is unwritten right now. So we don't know what's coming up, because it looks like they are going to be doing a lot of Mighty Morphin with Playmates. So this is it's partnered through Hasbro, licensed off from Hasbro to Playmates. So, that's what they're starting with. And so, yeah. Which I'm not hating on this, this toy line. It's pretty good. It looks really good. I think it's very promising. But there are no promo images for this next thing. There's a video of it. So let me go ahead and show you what also we're getting. We are getting the battle bikes. Now they don't have a promo image for this, but as you saw, it does have a flipping effect in a harness, and I think it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool design. Even though the battle bikes were only appeared one episode, but that was in the background because they didn't teleport. They had to use those, for merchandise purposes. So, but yeah, before we're almost near to the end of this topic. Rick, I'm going to go to you. What do you think of what we've seen revealed and everything?
I mean, it looks interesting. We'll see how it actually is when it's released.
Now, my biggest question is, what would you buy out of this?
If I were to buy anything out of the initial release, I'd probably get the Morpher. Okay. I might go for automorphing figures, but I mean, don't get me wrong. Great for kids, better design than the bulky things we got, and then the square things that Hasbro did. These at least try to give the female a slightly less masculine looking body. It's hard to do with automorphing, so I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, did you ever get the retro morphing figures from Hasbro?
I got I got Ranger Slayer. I believe I got yellow and I got green.
I thought you got Ninja as well.
Oh yeah, I don't necessarily count him as one of those since we got the red version of him in those VHS things.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot about that. Oh man, that was a promise. That was a big. That had some promise to it until they decided not to do them anymore.
Oh yeah, they only did 2 waves, which sucked.
It'd be great to have more Megazords. Come on, Hasbro. Why would you give us something so cool and then say, never mind? But with that said, so if you guys click on the Power Rangers website, it goes directly to Playmates. And here's the flyer, and let me read it off. It says, "Unleash the power of the legendary Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Reignite this global time-tested phenomenon with bold collectibles featuring heroic figures." Don't know what that word is. Can you help me out with that? Let's scroll down right here. Behemoth? Is that right? Behemoth dinosaurs, towering Megazord battling
the
notorious evil
space aliens.
Yeah.
With an electrifying arsenal of gear. Get ready for the unstoppable surge of an all-new Power Rangers collection from Playmate Toys.
Yep, that's gonna probably be. We'll probably see that from a commercial from Playmates. So, with that said, they told us something that we are going to be getting a release of a show, but it's going to be a re-release of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and they're going to enhance it with AI and digital enhancement. So, we're going to get the first season. It's supposed to be released in July on Netflix and YouTube. And Ninja Kids YouTube channel will do the commercial promotion for the toys. So Yeah, so we are getting another Mighty Morphin re-release series. And right off the bat, people are thinking it's going to be just like the 2010 Mighty Morphin we got. I hope not. I mean, I hope that's not the case. I still watched it. It was a way for Bandai to sell off more Power Ranger toys until Saban bought it back and took over again. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's a weird decision to do this, but at least we'll have something to watch if people are interested in watching this. And they did say, they're trying to go with a new generation of kids for Mighty Morphin because that's what started off the franchise. So it is what it is. But with that said, I do plan on doing a episode rates for this, but it's going to be called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reignition episode rates because we'll be discussing the episode itself from that re-release season of Mighty Morphin, and then we'll see if we can compare it and give us our comparison to the original release and the 2010 release and see what is a lot better. You know what I mean? So we'll do the rates by that. But Rick, what do you think about that plan going forward?
Yeah. I mean, it seems cool.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not going to hate on. I think, like I said, it's a weird decision. They could still release this new re-release of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and they still could do new stuff. For the other generation fans, us, the ones that started this that got this franchise off the ground. We were the ones that, said, "Mom, Dad, I want that toy." Back then, we were the first generation fans. Not saying that the new, younger generation fans don't deserve this. They do. But you got to remember, if you want to keep something fresh, you should also consider the fact of doing something new as well. So we'll have to see what's going to happen. Their plans are to do all 3 seasons with Mighty Morphin. But the first season will be released, like I said, on Netflix and YouTube in July. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. But like I said, the toys look great. I do think it's a weird decision of what they're doing, but we'll see how it goes. And Hasbro, please if you're going to do it, if you're going to do if Playmates is going to do a adult centric figure line, please continue the Lightning collection. Don't let that go to waste. It'd be nice for you guys not to just, start a whole new collection just to, just so we can have more of what we already have. Just continue where you left off. Am I right, Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I bought the last wave yesterday, and I'm still looking for the deluxe figures and everything, and then the Street Fighter figures. But come on, Hasbro. Playmates. This is your opportunity. Let Playmates do the Lightning collection, or maybe even like Rick. Go ahead, say it.
What?
Or maybe something that's compatible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or something that, at least is compatible to the figures that we got. But I still think the Lightning collection would be suffice to bring back. So we'll see how it goes. And also this website, like I said about this website right here, let's go back to that real quick. We'll be up and running on June 1st of this year. So keep an eye out for that once they start having everything up and running to show off some of the toys that was at the toy fair this year. And maybe we'll get some new look at some of the other stuff. Yeah, June 1st of this year is when the Power Rangers lineup will be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers lineup will be available to look at on their website. And question is, maybe they'll give us options to pre-order them there. So now, out of the Mighty Morphin frenzy into into Renegade Studios. Now, as you know, they had a Kickstarter for the final campaign of the Power Rangers game, Heroes of the Grid. And this one was called Eternal Rangers. Now, this was the final campaign, which means this is the last of this game, this tabletop game. So it's been funded, and I think they got some. And we've got a message from one of the creators of the Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. So let's go ahead and check out that video.
Hey, Power Rangers fans, Scott Gaeta here from Renegade Game Studios. I just wanted to pop in and say thank you so much. It's been an incredible ride making Heroes of the Grid for you. Right from the very beginning, from the very first Kickstarter campaign, it's been a success for us, and you all seem to love it, and we've loved making it for you. I wanted to say thank you to Jonathan Ying, all the artists and game designers and writers and graphic designers and everybody who put their heart into this game. It's been an absolute fantastic experience, one of the best experiences of my career, and really it's all because of you, the Power Rangers fans. You guys are the real deal. You walk the walk, you talk the talk. You're Power Rangers through and through. It's just been incredible. But that said, this is the last Heroes of the Grid Power Rangers campaign. The game is wrapping up, but that doesn't mean we're done with Power Rangers. We hope to be making Power Rangers games for all of you for years to come. So just wait. Stay in touch. We love you. Bye.
So that means they're not done with Power Rangers. So that's some good news. Heroes of the Grid is done, but there should be more coming. So keep an eye out for that, guys. And also for those guys, for you guys, if you want to keep track of all your Power Rangers, Heroes of the Grid campaigns, games, and all that, they do have a checklist on the website. So I did put the links. I put a lot of links for Renegade Studios under the Power Rangers category. For Power Rangers, Heroes of the Grid, there's a direct link for that. And the Power Rangers role-playing game, there's a direct link for that. And the deck building game. And then there is the Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid collection checklist. So guys, you can go to those links and see which ones you have and, check it off. That way you know that you're good and you're not missing out on anything. So, yeah, it's good that they're still doing Power Ranger stuff with Renegade Studios. People enjoy this game. I have never played it. I do like the look of the figurines. And Rick, you said you've never got into this type of game playing, right?
No, I didn't get into it. Right. It looked fun.
Yeah. Now, would you have ever started playing the deck building game? Maybe.
I have one of the expansion sets because for Christmas, family didn't realize to listen to the notes I had on my Amazon wish list. And so they bought one of the expansions, but I don't have the main game. I've done the DC deck builder a few times. I just don't have anyone to play with, which is the bad part.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should start doing our own setup where we play the game. Man, maybe.
If there was a way to do it via webcam, why not? Then we could hold it nightly.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Or possibly doing it in person. I don't know. Who knows? We'll converse if if I'm willing to actually spend the money and Ryan is. So it just depends on money when it comes to that stuff. You
Yeah.
know, it's not
Now,
not.
if they did like a versus thing, like the DC deck builder game did, where basically there are two decks, one you, one
Mhm.
your opponent, I don't know if that would be feasible either, though, because I think it shares the same main deck.
Okay.
Cool.
So now we are in our last topic, guys. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there.
But you're fine.
We've got some guest announcements for Ranger Stop and PopCon, and that one is we've got Kevin Duhaney, the Ethan James, Dino Thunder Blue. He will be there that weekend. And then we've got Jeffrey Perazzo, Trent Mercer, the White Dino Thunder Ranger. He will be there that weekend as well. It's a shame that we don't get a lot of the Dino Thunder cast. I mean, these two always are at conventions. It would be nice if Emma Lahana would do it, James Napier, but I think, since he's a director, he doesn't get into acting. But James,
Yeah.
you should consider these conventions. You'd make a lot of money. Trust me. We know. We're the ones that provide the money. People would actually meet you. Emma Lahana, I met at Lexington.
Oh, yes.
And that was great. I'm glad I got to meet her. I hope she does come back to do some conventions again.
It'll just need to be more polite.
Exactly. Let's hope that she would be willing to do it. It's all up to the actors and all up to how they feel about it. So just remember that. I hope they do get some more, in the future at like whether at Ranger Stop or Power Morphicon, more of the Dino Thunder cast. Heck, we got Latham. Latham, the guy that played the Mesogog, and Anton Mercer there one time at PMC. So it'd be great to see that. And and last year we almost got the actress that played Elsa from Dino Thunder, but she had to cancel. But we weren't able to go anyway. So let's hope that we get more and more of these actors. It'll be great. It'd be awesome. So next up,
maybe not Power Morphicon can move a little bit closer.
Yeah, but due to the fact is, I think it's because due to the fact that Scott lives in California, and that's why
I understand that.
Yeah. So now we also have a comic book writer, J.D. Sutphin. He has done some of the illustration or the writing of the comics you see right here. So he will be there that weekend. And also the villain of Time Force, Vernon Wells. He will be at Ranger Stop. And it's good to see that. I hope Vernon's doing well. I hope that GoFundMe ended up helping him out with him losing his home, and he's doing well. So, and then we got some more Time Force news. We've got Deborah Estelle Phillips. She will be there. Katie, the Time Force Yellow Ranger, and then Kevin Kleinberg, Trip, the Green Time Force Ranger. And you can't forget Michael Copon, Lucas, the Blue Time Force Ranger.
And most likely stepson to Rainsick.
Stepson? You mean son-in-law?
Yeah. Get over it.
I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah.
But also, they're going to have Jorge Vargas, Blake Bradley, the Navy Thunder Ranger. He will be there that weekend as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Hunter Bradley, the Crimson Ranger, would be there. But we don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. So for those of you,
What inside information do you have, Nate?
I wouldn't. These two are like a pair. You know what I mean? These guys are a pair. Like we'll see.
Can't have one without the other.
Exactly. But we'll have to wait and see. So, guys, as usual, everything we've discussed this episode, direct links in the description. So, including PMC for their passes. Now, like I said before, PMC does not have the Gold Ranger membership up there right now on there, but that's probably because it was the early bird. Hopefully, they get the Gold Ranger membership back up because I'm sure that hopefully they have a good amount for that. You know what I mean? It just probably won't be the early bird.
Yeah.
We'll see. So, but then you got Ranger Stop, which we'll be getting some guest announcements here in the spring. So, guys, keep an eye out for that. Our next episode is going to revolve around the last 4 episodes of Boom Boonger. It's been a good season, that's for sure. And Rick, what would you like to say before we sign off here?
Support your local comic book shop. Support your local small businesses. Support the paper copy. And have fun.
Yeah. All right, so go ahead and mute your mic. I'm going to do the outro, and then we can get out of here.
No, I'm going to bed.
All right. So, guys, thank you for watching. And if you haven't watched this episode, you can go back and watch it. If you didn't watch it live, you can go back and rewatch it and get all the information, all the images we've shown on here from, the Super Sentai Zone, Rick's Boom Time, all the Mighty Morphin that you can get. It's Mighty Morphin this, Mighty Morphin that, and then Renegade Game Studios, and also your confix and everything. So, guys, our next episode is 222. No, sorry. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. It's 221, and it's called Heading to the Finish Line. And I plan on doing that episode maybe in April. That might be my plan. I'm not too sure yet. I mean, since, like I said, if we have news to talk about, I'm adding it to that episode. I'm working everything around here because we don't get a lot of news of Power Rangers. At least we're getting a good amount of news this year than we did last year. So, and also, we're still doing Sentai on here as well, which we didn't do a lot of in past episodes and past seasons of LR4. But anyway, besides that, guys, make sure you like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, follow us on Instagram, and stay safe, stay healthy, stay more phenomenal. And as Zordon always says, may the power protect you. And once a Ranger, always a Ranger. And it's Morphin time. Legends never die. Everybody have a good night. All right.
Yeah.
Morbius?
All right.
Really? Okay. I don't know what that was. Hold up. Let me put this up here.
No.
What? Morbius?
Oh, I think I know what they're mean. The Morbin time, or
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And here's a look at our thumbnail for our next episode. Have a good night, everybody. Later.
Bye.